air to one person, and that is Mamaw Teresa for doing all the videoing for our A team. It really helped out us a lot. I know Steve spent a lot of hours analyzing the games to help prepare us for the tournament games, and I know my mother-in-law appreciated it as well. She's down in Florida and couldn't make it up here to see any games, so I know she really appreciated it as well. Let's give her a good hand. You know, Coach Dawson, Urbanski, Vincel, and myself have been with this group of kids for 3 years now, and it's amazing. You know, I don't know what our overall record is with these kids, but it's pretty amazing. I can't imagine combined having more than 5 losses, you know, for a 3-year period. And you know, I just want to say what a joy it is to coach these kids. You know, not only do we have great players, basketball players, but we also have, you know, great young men, and it's been a really joy to work with these guys over the 3 years and watch them grow as basketball players and also as young men. And you know, it's just a special group. So let's give them one more hand of applause for that.
Everybody hear me? I'd just like to reiterate some of the same things that Coach Todd had said already. It's a real joy to get to coach with these kids. I really appreciate the 2 young men from IU that stepped up to help us. If some of the parents could have been in the times when we had locker rooms, there was some great bonding, some great learning experiences that we'll just say we'll leave it at that. Maybe
I bet.
But fun time for the kids to get to grow as young men. I know that having 4 coaches, sometimes you're told 4 different ways to do something, and they did a good job of learning. Which coach is right? Mostly me. But anyways, not to drag this out all night, I just want to thank all the parents for all the support they have given us as coaches and let us do what we think is right when it's right. And from there, I'll pass it on to Coach Urbanski.
So Kevin left off one thank you that I'd like to include, and as being a fellow coach, but then also being a parent, the emails that Kevin sent out on a weekly basis, just to keep everybody informed. You know, but just having that right in your email to hit the button and get directions to the venue was super, and really appreciate that. Made our lives easier, and I'm sure other people have felt the same way. But kind of like to echo the comments of the other 2 coaches and just thank the kids for everything that they did this year, continuing to work hard, continuing to evolve and learn the game of basketball, but then also most importantly continue to develop into great young men and respectful of the game, respectful for each other, and great teammates. And we'd just like to congratulate them on a fantastic season. Keep it up, because we got a lot more to go here. So thank you.
Thank you, coaches. It was really nice for me to have this group around me this year. And I also want to thank Mrs. Mitchell, our principal, Mr. Mayor, Father Tom, who's here now. And our teachers at school, and then our parents. I think the only thing that is better than having this group of kids is having this group of parents, because that is the joy for a coach when you have a great group of parents. Although it's a little intimidating for me to have the McLeans as parents. Sometimes I'm talking about basketball, and I know Steve's standing over there, and I just wonder what he's thinking.
That would be intimidating, yeah. That's awesome.
But mostly, thank you for the opportunity that we've been given as coaches to be involved with St. Charles and your boys. This is a great group of boys. They displayed excellent teamwork and supported each other on and off the court.
Sure did.
This group of boys, they are closer together and more supportive than any group of kids that I've seen. That's really a special thing. They're very smart, they're very respectful, and y'all should be very proud of them. Celebrating together, crying together, playing together, experiencing this together is really preparation for life. And we learned so much this year about being a team, about setting expectations, about working on game plans, about executing game plans, about changing our plans when things didn't work, and about earning our results. We weren't given anything. Everything that we achieved, we earned. And we took responsibility for our own play, and we didn't get caught up in things that we could not control. We let the last play go. We tried to focus on the moment, and we tried to play without fear. Because fear, whether it's fear of failure, fear of making a mistake, fear of trying your best, fear can be crippling. It can cripple a person, it can cripple a team, it can cripple an organization. Hopefully we all learn some things about life and about ourselves that'll help us down the road in whatever we choose to do or wherever we find ourselves. And cherish these memories. These are great memories. I was talking with Thomas, and he remembers his days at St. Charles and how much fun he had. And here's Johnny Jager and Ben Dawson. They were 6th grade champs, and they remember those times. And boys, you'll remember these days for a long, long time. So cherish these memories. We finished 16-1, and we might think more about the and one than about the 16, perhaps. We were one game short of the final, but we put ourselves in position to win, and that's what you always want to do, is just do whatever's necessary to be in position to win. And hats off to the V team and the coaches, players, parents, for accomplishing that, making it to the final, and being in that position to win that championship that we all set as our goal. As I think back on our tournament run and the loss to St. Pius, the one thing I kept saying, and Ben got tired of hearing this, I must have done this for 5 or 6 days, I just kept saying, I wish I was a better coach. I wish I could have done something that could have helped these boys achieve their goal, that would have helped all of us. And that thought was a defeating thought at first, that I wish I was. And that thought stuck with me. It was days. It stuck in my stomach. I didn't like it. And it finally turned, and I realized that it was not a negative thought. It wasn't a thought of defeat, that I wish I was a better coach, but it was actually inspiration. That when you're around this group of boys, when you're around this group of parents, when you're around St. Charles, you want to be better. Makes you want to be better in everything that you do. So it's really inspiring, and it's really very special. And I hope we all wish and strive to be better coaches, better parents, better kids. And so let's bring up these kids one by one, say a little bit about them. And so also kids, so that you realize how special your parents are, and for all that they've done to get you to practice, to get you fed, make sure your homework's done, get your other brothers and sisters everywhere they need to be, and you all back to mom or dad tonight and share a little moment with them. So let's bring up our first player, Drew Compton. Drew a lot in a 1-3-1 press, and he was key to that press. He was very tenacious. He had a lot of deflections. He got a lot of steals. He brought a lot of energy, and never got tired. And he was a big reason why we won, and he was a big reason why we helped teams to low scoring averages. He set up plays that would get us out in transition where we could run and do what we did best. And so for all of that, Drew, you are our defensive player of the year. Congratulations. Here's a rose for you to take back and thank mom and dad and tell them how much you love them.
Hey, wait. You forgot. No, the school, St. Charles School, has had two awards that they give at the basketball banquet that are long-standing awards. One of those awards is the most inspirational award. And I want to bring up Jasper McLean. Jasper, as you can tell, he's almost taller than Coach. And so he anchored the middle for us. And he's still growing, and he's finding how to use his body, and that's a lot of work for a man of his size and his age. It takes a while to figure out where all these parts are going and where they're going to end up. And so the thing that impressed me about Jasper is how hard he would work after practice. And he was always there working on his drop step, practicing his free throws. Everybody else is going home or playing around. And Jasper's down there working on that drop step, shooting those layups, shooting those free throws. And it was an inspiration to all of us to see you want to win that bad and want to improve. So congratulations to Jasper, the most inspirational player. Make sure you take that home.
Hey, Jasper, come here.
Okay, so our next player is Dylan McLean. Dylan really gets it. The basketball IQ apple fell right in his lap because I'm drawing on these chalkboards in these locker rooms, and by the time I get done drawing, anybody that's ever spent any time with me, I talk with my hands. So by the time I'm done, I know exactly what I meant. But if you turn and look at the chalkboard, it doesn't look pretty. I mean, it's just scribbled. You can't even see the board anymore. The X's have blended into the O's, and there's marks everywhere. And I'd say, Dylan, do you know what we're trying to do here? And he'd say, yeah, Coach, I think we're trying to screen the high guy so we can kick it out for the three. I said, exactly. So not only did he have a really smart basketball IQ, just a wonderful young man to be around. His personality's great. But he really improved from last year to this year. I think he's been hanging out with the players and working on some things. His footwork, his shooting, his defense was always good, but he really stepped it up a notch. And for all that, Dylan McLean is our most improved player.
I got to tell you a funny story on Dylan at the last game. Last game Steve did. He did an excellent job on the chalkboard. It looked great what we were going to do. But anyway, what we were trying to do is set a high screen up top. Okay. Well, as the game's going, not all the boys knew exactly what to do. So Steve's yelling out, 32. 32. Well, he's wanting us to screen 32, you know. And then next time down the court, he'd yell out, 15. 15. The kids were looking around, and everybody on the bench was looking around. Dylan was the only one to look at Kevin and I and go, Coach, do we have a play 15? And I just go, I don't think so.
It took us a minute to figure out what was going on.
I don't know what he's saying.
Evan, Todd, say hello.
Hello.
That is one more word than he said all year. In practice, in games, he was so quiet, but he worked really hard. And we didn't have a lot of playing time minutes to share. I know everyone wanted to play more. I wanted the boys to play more. Evan was splitting some time with Ty, with Jasper. Dylan sometimes would play low. Braden might play low. But the thing we talked about was, boys, when you get your chance, when you get your chance, go out there on that floor. For every second you're out there, give it all you can give it. Go as hard as you can go and help your team. And Evan did that. He never complained. He played tough. Even when he banged up his knee in the finals, he took the ice bag off. He went back out and stayed with it. And so, Evan Todd, you win our Mental Attitude Award.
Might be able to hold it up quite a bit.
Evan Todd! You did!
Braden Urbanski. Okay.
Back into it.
Is he not here?
Okay, Ty Dawson. One of the hardest things there is to do, but also one of the most rewarding things there is to do, is to coach your own son. And they tend to get less playing time because you should understand. They tend to get no slack because you should understand. They tend to hear about it all the way home because you, above all, should understand. And they have to hear about it for the next 5 days until we play again, as I replay and rethink and rehash and second guess, because you should understand. So it's a little bit hard to be the coach's son, but I'll say this. We had a great moment in the locker room at Brown County when I was trying to get these boys to think, understand the situation. Guys, if we're up by 6 points with 30 seconds to go, we don't need to shoot the ball, right? Think, understand. Now, Ty, you think too much. I don't want you to think. You just need to play. And I'm in the middle of this big speech, and Ty's just got his hand up, and I'm like, what? And he's like, Dad, first you tell me to think, then you tell me to not think. What am I supposed to do? And that was one of the best moments we had. I'll remember that, and I hope you do too, and laugh about it for a long time. But by the end of the year, Ty got in there, he learned to use his body, he got some huge rebounds in the tournament, and you win our Big Man Award. Now, Braden Urbanski. So Braden was caught up in this 32, 15, no, stand in the middle, no, go to the corner. All this is going on, and Braden is trying to play, and he's trying to listen to me, and it's hectic, and he didn't know what to do, but he stayed with it. And that was the thing about Braden all year, is he always stayed with it. We could play Braden high, we could play low, he could play the wing, he could play guard, he could play the middle. And he just did a lot of great things for us. He's going to be a really good athlete. He's getting more smooth as he goes. His body's going to catch up to his feet. And I think you've got a great career in basketball ahead of you. And all the things that you brought for us, you are a Utility Player Award winner. Thanks, Braden. Okay, now. Every once in a while, a player just decides to take a team on his back, with his effort, with his determination, getting that extra inch of reach to get a rebound, getting that extra burst of speed to get open, and for all that he did, and really in the tournament where he stepped up, and he really played a little bit like Victor Oladipo is doing for the Hoosiers. You know, if he needed it, he did it, and that's what Anthony did for us. And for that, you win the Michael Sullivan I Love This Game Award. He played with every ounce of energy and passion and heart that he could possibly bring, and it made us better. And so now I want him to be joined with two of his compadres, Noah Jager and Ethan Vinsel. Come on up. So every year we get the task of coaches of thinking about what we're going to say about players and coming up with the awards, and there's no magic to it. We just pass the hat around, we pass emails around as coaches. What are we going to do? And Kevin Todd says there is no way that we go 16-1, that we did what we did last year, making it to the finals, that they won it all in the 4th grade. We don't achieve as much without these three boys here, Noah Jager, Ethan Vinsel, and Anthony Leal. And so they, together, the three of them that led us all year, are our co-MVPs. Noah, he was just a great guard for us. Every team that played us tried to shut him down. A lot of teams tried to really physically take him out of his element. They knocked him down, they beat him up. He had tears flowing in at least a third of our games, but he was out there fighting. Ethan Vinsel really in the first half of the year through the middle part of our season stepped up, just played tremendous basketball, really was a leader all year, and played with a lot of heart there in that final game. I just kept telling him, Ethan, just shoot it. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. That's what shooters do. You only have to make 2 or 3 of these, and that's 6 or 9 points, and we're right there. And he just kept firing up shot after shot after shot, which is exactly what we asked him to do. And he was worried he was letting his team down. He goes, Coach, I'm missing. I said, no, you're not. Keep shooting. Just keep pouring it in with all your heart. And that's what he did. So, boys, thank you. Go tell your moms you love them. And now it is my pleasure to invite up the coaches of the B team and to enjoy their tremendous run all the way to the finals. They brought home some hardware, which Father Tom loved the hardware. We were trying for the big trophy, and all I can say is we're going to try even harder next year. So welcome, coaches, and thank you.
Love you, sweetheart. Congratulations.
I really enjoyed coaching all your kids this year. It was a lot of fun for me, a lot of fun for Coach Austin. I remember at the beginning of the year they told me they were 2-7 last year. They weren't very confident in winning games this year, and they didn't really think they were going to. But I think by the end of the season that they really got believing that they were winners and believed they could win every game they stepped into. I'm proud of them for that, and I really enjoyed coaching you guys. I want to thank all the parents for driving to Indy for all the tournament games, and I want to thank these guys for kind of showing us the way throughout the whole season. So thank you guys for that.
For most of you, I'm Aussie Dickinson. First off, I want to thank Steve, Jason, and especially Kevin. Kevin kind of took me